The next piece we're going to be singing, we're singing with joy, but also with a heavy heart. Nixa choir student, Cole Sullivan, passed away earlier this year. But his spirit of music lives on in us. We had originally scheduled Mr. Ryan Main over here to commissioned him to write a piece for Nixa choirs. And when he found out about the tragic passing of Cole and found out about his love for choir, he contacted me and asked if he could write a piece about Cole, to which I was moved by that. And at that point, I just knew that was the way we needed to go. So there was the matter of creating a text and the matter of making the text come to life and bringing it to music. In order to make that text, we had a memo that was written, just thinking about the day and thinking about the situation, written by Miss Jennifer Stammers, that we gave to the person who wrote the lyrics, Robert Bodie. And I asked Mrs. Stammers to share that with you. So she's going to share it. And after she is sharing, we're going to have about 30 seconds of silence, remembering the life and love and the amazing student that Cole was. We have a lot of the students in this choir that have very detailed memories about Cole and what he meant to them. We've talked about it quite a bit. So we're going to share what Ms. Stammers wrote, 30 seconds of silence, and then we're going to sing it for you.
So when you write something after a situation like this, it just pours out, and what you write is just truly an expression. So this is called The Last Conversation with Cole. It was the beginning of third hour on an ordinary day at Nixa High School. Band kids were slamming their lockers shut. Theater kids were acting out scenes in the hallway. And I stood at the door of the choir room greeting members of the Advanced Men's Choir. I usually had something to say to each kid. Nice overalls. Did you get more sleep last night? When are you going to show me that video game character that you created for me? That last question was directed at Cole Sullivan, a freshman with the biggest blue eyes and a penchant for moving all the time. He stood on the first row of the classroom risers in the first tenor section, closest to the piano where I spend most of my time. Cole was voiced as a first tenor, but only because the literature we perform in Advanced Men's Choir doesn't really have a part for boy soprano. He had the high, clear voice of an angel, but there was always a little guy with a pitchfork standing on his other shoulder. In moments when he was particularly distracted, I would look at him and point two fingers at my eyes and then at his. His big baby blues would double in size, his lips would purse, his body would go rigid, his hands glued to his side. And apparently, that move warranted the creation of a video game character in my likeness. On this particular day, Cole stopped to chat with me at the door a little longer than normal. He was a wrestler, and he shared with me that he'd been kicked off a wrestling team. He wasn't agitated or in a state of distress. He just made a matter-of-fact statement, aware that his actions had consequences. So we talked a little bit about choices, and I asked him how he felt about his removal. He said, "I'm going to do better." He wanted to earn his way back onto the team the following year, and he told me that he was going to try harder to control his impulsiveness in choir, and I knew he meant it. I'm going to do better, and in choir he did. It was a February Monday morning, 7 o'clock on an ordinary day at Nixa High School. We were preparing to have our regular choir director's Zoom meeting when our phones rang. On the other end of the line was Danny Gutierrez, the head director, mumbling something indiscernible, sharp gasps, choked words, and we knew something was very wrong. Sullivan died in a car accident last night. I lost my breath, like a punch in the gut. And then the words came over the intercom. Teachers meet in the library. I don't really remember how I walked down there without missing a step. My co-teacher Tammy held me up mentally, sometimes physically. All I could picture in my mind was Cole's big blue eyes, and all I could hear was, "I'm going to do better." When you're 15, 1 year is a small fraction of your life. An hour is a day is a year is a lifetime. Doing better is a minute-by-minute struggle. When you're 53, a year is a week is a day, and a day is a minute. But struggle remains constant no matter where you are on your timeline. Cole made a spontaneous decision that cost him his life. But that is not how I will choose to remember him. I will remember the simple statement he made to me on an ordinary day. I'm going to do better. In his memory and in his honor, we will strive to do better too.
Well, we have reached the conclusion of our night. We'll be singing one more piece.